Welcome to Slauson Girl Speaks. I'm your host, Slauson Girl, bringing you world news with a South Central state of mind. Today, I'm here to talk with Dr. Mello and Tia Lopez on their journey of establishing a charter school in Los Angeles. CEA, also known as the Crenshaw Entrepreneurial Academy. We're going to discuss the importance of charter schools in Los Angeles and where they are currently in the process and why they need your help and how you can help. Tia and Dr. Mello, how are you today?
All right.
Doing great. How are you?
I'm glad to be here.
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. Let's just get right into it. Tia, we've been talking a lot about your vision and the things that you're doing to establish the Crenshaw Entrepreneurial Academy. And I'm glad to have you here today to provide an update to the community. You have roots here. You are a former student of Crenshaw High. What inspired you to begin this journey of establishing a charter school in the Crenshaw District of Los Angeles?
Okay, well, first and foremost, what inspired me is just everyday life growing up in the Crenshaw District. I'm a mother of four. I got married kind of young, and just everyday experiences. Getting my first credit card, having trouble. I couldn't go to my mother. I couldn't go to my auntie and ask questions, and I never was taught financial literacy in school. Mm-hmm. So it kind of guided me to the entrepreneurial aspect of life. And I had to learn from hands-on experience about financial literacy and how to get my credit where it's supposed to be and just how to be all around financial content.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely. And so with the Crenshaw Entrepreneurial Academy, what do you hope to provide to the students in terms of programming and just the curriculum?
Well, Dr. Mello can tell you a little bit about the programs that we offer.
Yeah. Okay. Currently, Dr. Mello. Dr. Mello, would you mind introducing yourself and kind of just letting us know about your background and how you're involved with the Crenshaw Entrepreneurial Academy?
Absolutely. Just like Tia, I'm originally from South LA, Watts, and I left here when I was about 8 years old. Got my doctorates from the East Coast, came back here in 2009.
Nice.
My son actually was killed in 2009. It was, violence. And this is why it's personal that we see our kids have a resource so this can prevent. So when I came back in 2011, I saw my neighborhood. I grew up on 111th in Compton. It was devastated. It was like I couldn't recognize it. And I said, wow, this is how we were growing up. And so a lot of our kids growing up in this fashion, that's all we know. And so we really wanted to create something that was different. That's why Tia in the forefront was fighting for education for our students and find a lot in the background of what's happening and teaching our kids not just to be job takers, but job makers. That was the key, I think, that really pushed CEA into fruition. But overall, what we noticed, the education system with Los Angeles is very, very specific. They design it for you to fail. So we want to turn that around by creating new opportunities that our kids are brilliant. It's just that they're being taught wrong. So how do we bridge the gap of prison to pipeline through the educational system? And entrepreneurship is really the key because once you're self-sufficient, you can take that education anywhere. Doesn't matter where you go. But if you are still a follower, if you're not given the tools to start your own, you will always probably fall into something that you're not wanting to.
Right.
So we want to give kids the best options to become great. So we could talk about what classes we offer, but if you want me to let me know.
Okay, yeah. We could definitely get into the curriculum and things like that. Sure. But really quick, I wanted to ask you guys, what is the difference between a charter school and just, the regular public schools in LAUSD?
Right. A charter school actually gives people, communities more freedom to teach how they want away from the system, which is why a lot of charter schools were under attack. I could say in the last year, we had maybe 3 charter schools like around Inglewood, South LA that were shut down because they were teaching these kids not the way the main system does. So the grand curriculum that LAUSD follows, they actually have a guideline in where you have to have percentages and you have to have these interim scores in order to go to the next level. But a lot of these interim scores, such as a beta, at the end of the year, these kids are not being taught relative to the area that they're in. So they're given a broad system of thought and it doesn't work. So you have a lot of kids that are confused or fail, but yet they're still passing. So something's not right with that. And so we want to break away sort of like from the matrix. And this is why the school board, they have certain policies in place, which we follow 100%. The same policies apply for public school and charter school. The only difference is charter schools give you more freedom to add extracurricular activities like world history or critical thinking. Currently, right now, what's on the table is something called critical race theory, CRT. This is so controversial because you're conditioning the kid to really look at race where kids had never really thought about race at a certain age. So we really want to acknowledge what system is out there first and challenge that. And so we say Tia literally has been fighting this mammoth of the system saying, no, you cannot have free thinkers. No, we want to create robots as to who, how kids are going to graduate, you know? So
Right. And then the difference, another plain difference between public charter schools and, public schools and charter schools, the difference is that a charter school can be started within a community. So any group of people can get together, parents, community activists, they can get together and say, hey, I want to see a change in my community. Hey, I want to start a school. They get together, they start a board, and they take their petition, they get a certain amount of signatures, and they take it to the board. So that's what I did. Like I said, I sat back in my neighborhood, and I got tired of seeing the lack of resources, the lack of financial literacy and education being taught. And I got together with a group of entrepreneurs and community advocates of the Crenshaw District, and we got together to bring Crenshaw Entrepreneurial Academy. So we are the only school in California petitioning right now. There's usually like 30 to 45 schools. Some are usually affiliated, and what affiliated means is that they're affiliated to public charter schools that are already operating and up and running, or public schools that are already ran by LAUSD. So it's an honor to be the only one in California petitioning right now due to the pandemic, by the grace of God, and we're just here for support because representation matters.
Big time.
Okay,
Big
definitely.
Time.
So talk to us a little bit about what that petition process looks like and why you guys need, you're at the point right now where you need community support.
Yeah. So actually, Marquise, off the side, he actually is not on camera right now, but he was there in the very beginning and starting the petitions. And we have to reach a certain amount of signatures to say this is the change that we want and present it to the board. Can you tell us a little bit about the board's
Yes, so Crenshaw Entrepreneurial Academy is made up of a board of 5 people. Dr. Colette Magruder, Dr. Bernard Manyibe, Marquise Lewis, Jernico Martin, and Takara Finelli. These are local activists from the community, doctors, lawyers, social workers who've got together with myself to bring Crenshaw Entrepreneurial Academy to fruition. We have obtained the amount of signatures needed by teachers to bring the project, and right now all we need is the community support. So we have a public hearing coming up with the Los Angeles County Office of Education, that's LACO, and that's on June 15th at 3:00 p.m. This is going to be a live Zoom conference, and they're going to be seeing the community support. So the phone number here to call is 669-900-9128. The meeting ID is 822-2518-9839, and the passcode is 241814. And like I said, this is a public live hearing for the support of our school. And it's going to be with the Los Angeles County Office of Education. And we are the only ones in California petitioning right now.
Yes.
So we would love your support from the community.
And we definitely need people to really call in, because it's not often that we have an opportunity to really make a change this big in our educational system. So please, June 15th, mark your calendars. Make sure you call and show your support for Crenshaw Entrepreneurial, because they represent all of our charter schools who are going through the same thing.
Yes. I also want to mention that you guys can obtain more information about Crenshaw Entrepreneurial Academy at crenshawentrepreneurial.education. You also can go on Google and type in Crenshaw Entrepreneurial Academy and see the fight that we have going on right now with LAUSD.
That's right.
And so why, again, would you say that it's important for parents in Los Angeles, specifically, Black parents, even Latino parents? Why is it important for them to look into alternative education options for their children?
Well, you see the results of how we're living. I mean, statistically speaking, you don't need someone to say 70% of this and that. You could walk outside your neighborhood and you see half of the families are affected either by incarceration, by violence, or lack of education.
Right.
So when we see these things constantly plaguing our community and it's not getting any better, we have to say, whoa, what is going on here? So let's reset. And it really is I would say common sense, but at the same time, you have these forces, these